You're unbelievable, Lena. You just had to mess everything up. Emily's voice sliced through the sound of waves crashing in the distance, loud and sharp. Her fork hit her plate with a clatter, and she crossed her arms with an exaggerated huff, her eyes locked on me with pure annoyance. I didn't say anything. I couldn't. I just sat there, frozen, while the rest of the table went completely quiet. The happy buzz of dinner vanished, and all that was left was silence, heavy and thick, pressing on my chest like a weight. My dad let out a tired sigh, the kind that said he was already over it. My mom didn't say a word either, but her lips pressed together in that thin, tight line I knew too well. It was the face she made when she didn't want to seem like she was picking sides, even though I already knew which side she was on. I stared at my plate. The shrimp scampi I'd been excited about now felt like rubber in my mouth. I wasn't hungry anymore. I wasn't anything. Just tired. Tired of feeling like the villain in every family story. My name is Lena Harper. I'm 35. And for as long as I can remember, I've been the one everyone blames. If dinner burns, it's my fault. If someone forgets their sunscreen, it's somehow my fault. If the sky turns gray when we're on vacation, don't worry, Mom will find a way to blame that on me too. And my sister Emily? She always comes out looking like the victim or the hero. Never the one who causes problems. People call her charming. I call her exhausting. She knows how to make a scene. She knows exactly when to raise her voice, when to pout, when to laugh just loud enough to keep attention on her. It's been that way since we were kids, and it never really changed. So I should have seen this coming. I should have known Emily would twist things around again. I always try to be hopeful, thinking maybe this time will be different. But deep down, I know better. This whole disaster started 2 days ago, when we arrived at the beach resort. It was supposed to be a relaxing family vacation, just me, Emily, and our parents. A rare chance to be together. I'd planned everything, booked the resort, made dinner reservations, even organized a few activities. I spent hours making sure everything was perfect. I triple-checked every confirmation email. I didn't want anything to go wrong. But on the first night, we showed up at the seafood restaurant I'd booked weeks ago, and the hostess looked at us with confusion. "I'm sorry," she said politely, "but we don't have any reservation under that name." My mom turned to me right away, her expression sharp. "Lena, I thought you said this was confirmed." "It was," I said quickly, pulling out my phone. "Look, I have the email right here." But Emily jumped in before I could say more. "Then why are we standing here with no table?" she asked with a fake sweet smile. "Great job, Lena." The hostess apologized, but said the reservation had been cancelled somehow, and the restaurant was full. So instead of a fancy dinner, we ended up at a nearby diner, eating greasy burgers under fluorescent lights. And Emily made sure everyone knew just how disappointed she was. She kept sighing loudly, throwing glances my way, and whispering to Mom about how this was why she didn't like relying on me. The next morning didn't go any better. Emily had planned a snorkeling trip, her one contribution to the trip. But when we arrived, the guide told us the boat had been delayed because of mechanical issues. Not my fault. Not even close. But that didn't stop Emily from muttering under her breath, "Another flawless Lena plan." I wanted to yell that the snorkeling wasn't even mine to handle. But I didn't. I'd spent my whole life avoiding fights like that. I knew how this worked. She complained, and I stayed quiet. That was the script. Later, when I tried to brush it off, Mom chuckled and said, "You two really need to learn how to work together." As if this was my failure, too. As if I hadn't spent every day of this trip trying to keep things running smoothly. So when we sat down for dinner on our second night and Emily launched into her full performance, counting my mistakes on her fingers, twisting everything around, I felt something inside me shift. "First, we missed dinner because Lena can't click confirm," Emily said loudly. "Then the snorkeling is ruined because she didn't check the weather. What next?" "That's enough, Emily," I said, my voice low but trembling. I could feel everyone looking at me. Dad didn't say a word. Mom looked at me like she was expecting an apology. Emily leaned back, smiling like she'd won. Oh, don't get so defensive, she said. I'm just pointing out the facts. Someone has to. I gripped the tablecloth to steady my hands. I was so used to swallowing my anger, to pretending it didn't matter. But something broke this time. Something inside me finally got tired of taking the blame. After dinner, Emily pushed her chair back with a dramatic sigh and stood. I'm going for a walk. Maybe someone else can fix the rest of this trip. And just like that, she was gone. No one followed her. My dad rubbed his temples like he had a headache. My mom focused on paying the bill, pretending nothing happened. Then she looked at me and said, Lena, you know how much these trips mean. Why didn't you double-check everything? I did, I snapped. Louder than I meant to. Everyone stared. I checked everything twice. The dinner, the snorkeling. I tried. I really tried. None of this happened because I didn't care. Emily wasn't there to hear it. But maybe that was better. Maybe I wasn't talking to her anymore. That night, I lay in bed staring at the ceiling. I couldn't sleep. Emily's words kept playing in my head. You just had to mess everything up. This is why we can't rely on you. What hurt even more was that no one stood up for me. My mom's quiet judgment. My dad's silence. It all made the blame feel heavier. I thought about calling my best friend, Lisa. She'd always been there when my family wasn't. But it was late. I didn't want to wake her. So I grabbed my phone, just to distract myself. I scrolled through my old messages, anything to quiet the noise in my head. That's when I saw it, a text from Emily, from 2 weeks ago. Hey Lena, can you check the snorkeling thing for me? I'm slammed with work and might have messed something up. Actually, I think I accidentally canceled the dinner reservation too. Can you fix it? I stared at the screen, my heart pounding. She'd admitted it. She had canceled the dinner. She had messed up the snorkeling plans. And I, so overwhelmed, so used to taking the blame, had completely forgotten. I read the message again and again. The proof had been there the whole time. And yet she let me sit through 2 days of guilt and blame like none of it had happened. I wasn't the one who ruined the trip. Emily was. And for once, I had the receipts to prove it. Breakfast the next morning was quiet, but tense. My mom tried to act like everything was fine, chatting about the weather and how nice the breeze felt. Emily sat across from me, glued to her phone, scrolling with a bored look on her face like she didn't care about anyone else. I kept sneaking glances at my dad, hoping, just hoping, he might say something about what happened the night before, something to show he noticed, but he didn't. He just sat there drinking his coffee like nothing was wrong. As soon as I finished eating, I excused myself. I needed air. I needed space. I walked down to the beach, my feet sinking into the sand, trying to calm down. I pulled out my phone and texted Lisa. Do you have time to talk? I really need you. She called back right away. Hey, she said, her voice warm and steady. What's going on? Are you okay? Not really, I replied. My throat tightened, and I had to swallow before I could say more. It's Emily, again. She's making it seem like I ruined this whole vacation, and my parents are just going along with it, like they always do. Oh, give me a break, Lisa groaned. What happened this time? I told her everything, the dinner that got cancelled, the snorkeling trip that got messed up, how Emily twisted the whole story to make it sound like it was all my fault. By the time I finished talking, I felt exhausted, like I'd just run 10 miles. Lisa wasn't having it. And you're just going to let her get away with it? She asked. Lena, you can't keep letting her treat you like this. You need to stand up for yourself. What's the point? I said, bitterness creeping into my voice. Even if I do speak up, my parents will just take her side. They always do. Not if you have proof, Lisa said. Do you? I paused. The text messages from Emily flashed in my mind, the ones where she admitted to canceling the dinner and messing up the snorkeling time. I might, I said slowly. I read the messages aloud to Lisa. She didn't interrupt. When I finished, she let out a long, low whistle. Lena, that's solid. You have to show them. I hesitated. It feels petty. What if it just makes things worse? Lisa sighed. Worse than what? You being blamed for everything? Lena, You've been carrying this blame your whole life. Maybe it's time to stop. Her words hit me. I didn't say anything, but I knew she was right. Still, the idea of confronting Emily, and my parents, made my stomach twist. What if they didn't believe me? What if they still thought I was the problem? I know it's scary, Lisa said, her voice softer now, but you deserve to be heard. You deserve better than this. The rest of the day passed like a blur. My mom suggested we go to the boardwalk. My dad didn't say much, just nodded along. I went too, acting like I was having fun, even though my head was spinning. All day, the screenshots sat in my pocket, weighing heavy. They scared me, but they also gave me a strange kind of strength. By dinner time, I knew what I had to do. The restaurant was beautiful, floor-to-ceiling windows, the ocean glowing gold in the setting sun. Soft music played, people laughed at nearby tables, but at our table, the tension was thick and cold. I picked at my food in silence. My mom chatted about how amazing the resort was, trying to keep things light. My dad barely looked up from his wine. And Emily? She was telling some story about work that had my parents smiling and nodding, like everything was fine. But it wasn't. Then dessert came, and Emily turned to me with a little smirk. So, Lena, she said, what's the plan for ruining tomorrow, or are we just going to wing it again? My fork slipped and clattered on the plate. I felt my face heat up, and before I could stop myself, I spoke. That's enough, Emily, I said, trying to keep my voice calm. She laughed like I was overreacting. Relax, I'm just joking. No, you're not, I said. I pushed my plate aside, my hands shaking. You've blamed me for everything all week, and I'm done pretending it's okay. The table went silent. My mom froze with her hand halfway to her glass. My dad looked uncomfortable. Emily leaned back, smug. Here we go, she said, rolling her eyes. Lena, the victim, again. I took a breath. I'm not playing the victim, I'm telling the truth, and since you seem to struggle with that, let me help you. I pulled out my phone, my heart pounding in my ears. I opened the text thread, placed the phone on the table, and turned the screen so everyone could see. You sent these, Emily, 2 weeks ago, remember? She looked down, the smirk fading. What are you talking about? My mom squinted at the screen. What is this? It's the truth, I said. Emily canceled the dinner. She admitted it in these texts. And the snorkeling? She asked me to fix her mistake, and when I couldn't, she blamed me. My dad reached for the phone, reading the messages carefully. His face darkened. Emily, he said, slowly and seriously, is this true? Emily's face turned red. For a second, she looked panicked, but then she slipped into her usual act, eyes wide and innocent. Dad, it's easy to misread texts. I wasn't blaming Lena, I was just venting. It's all a misunderstanding. I stared at her. A misunderstanding? My voice shook. You've been tearing me down for days, making me feel like I ruin everything, and now you want to call it a misunderstanding? Girls, my mom said, her voice tense, let's not make a scene. It's not a scene, I replied, it's the truth, and I'm tired of pretending Emily's behavior is okay. Emily shifted in her seat. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I was just stressed. I'm sorry, okay? I didn't know if she meant it, but I realized something important. I didn't need her to mean it. I wasn't doing this to win her over. I was doing this to stand up for myself. My dad put the phone down and looked at all of us. Beth, he said to my mom, we've been blind to this. Lena's been getting blamed for years, and we let it happen. My mom looked stunned. What do you mean? I mean we've taken the easy way out, ignored the signs, let Emily get away with too much. There was a long silence. Finally, my mom looked at me, her eyes soft. Why didn't you tell us sooner? I laughed, bitterly. I tried, so many times, but you never listened. You always took Emily's side. Something shifted in my mom's face, regret, maybe guilt. She reached across the table and touched my hand gently. I'm sorry, she said. The words were small, but they meant something. Emily looked down, then up again, her voice quieter than before. I didn't mean to hurt you. I guess I really did mess up. I'm sorry, Lena. Maybe she meant it, maybe she didn't, but I didn't need her approval anymore. The truth was out, everyone saw it, and for once, I wasn't invisible, I wasn't the scapegoat. I was finally heard.